everybody, and welcome back to my page or my channel. Today we're going to be making tandoori chicken or tandoori masala and then some garlic naan. So I'm going to show you guys my process as usual. And for the tandoori spice, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just add it to my chicken, and in the description I will put the breakdown of what you can add to it. But you can always go to the supermarkets and just buy a little packet or like a sachet of the spice to kind of cut your cooking time and prep time down. And then I do recommend making this on a charcoal grill because the flavor that you get from charcoal is really nice. And then the recipe for the naan is gonna be like restaurant style naan, where you have the nice garlic butter and a little brown spots on top, so it's kind of crisped up. So the naan is gonna be garlic naan. You can also make cheese naan if you want, but I love tandoori chicken with garlic naan because I personally love the flavor of roasted garlic. So usually people just chop up raw garlic and add it into their butter sauce, but I make roasted garlic and then I add it into my actual dough. So as you guys will eventually realize, I love working with yeast and dough. So eventually I'll do more bread recipes and stuff like that for you guys. But as I said, today our recipe is tandoori chicken and garlic naan. So my last tip for you guys is tandoori chicken is usually dipped into this very nice coriander and mint sauce that you can make yourself, but sometimes shortcuts just make your life in the kitchen so much easier. So I'm gonna share with you guys the one that I use. Can you see it properly? Yeah, so you guys can make your own, or you can just use this. I'm sure it's not gonna be called this in your supermarket. I'm not sure what it would be called, but it's a coriander and mint spread, and you just add some Greek yogurt to it, and then that's the sauce that you can use to dip your chicken in, and then that's it. You're gonna dissolve some granulated sugar in some warm water, and you're gonna mix that until it is completely dissolved, and then you're gonna add your yeast, and you're gonna use a whisk and just mix it in, and then once that's frothy, we're ready to use it. Next, you're gonna pour your flour into a separate bowl, and you're gonna add a teaspoon of salt, next you're gonna mix the flour and the salt to make sure that it's properly combined, and then you're gonna get the bowl of your stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can do this by hand with a spoon. You're gonna pour your yeasty mixture into the bowl. Then next you're gonna add a tablespoon of vegetable oil, the roasted garlic I told you guys about. So you're just gonna roast some garlic in olive oil and salt for about 45 minutes on 350, and that will be it. You're gonna mash it up and add it to your dough. Then you're gonna add in your flour, and then you're gonna add in your Greek yogurt. Now, I've never used plain yogurt for this, but if you want to try, you can try and let me know. Then you're gonna turn on your stand mixer and you're gonna start mixing. Once you see that most of the flour has been incorporated, you're going to stop your mixer and you're going to scrape down the sides, and you're going to turn the mixer back on. Now, if after that it still doesn't form a dough, you're going to add 1 tablespoon at a time of water until it comes together. Do not add more than 2 tablespoons, or then it's just going to become soggy. The dough should be nice and pliable. So scrape down again, and this is where we add our water. Now, as you can see, I only added 2 tablespoons and it came together very nicely. So depending on your temperature, this may take some more water, but if not, that's great. So the dough is nice and pliable, it's not sticky. Your stand mixer is clean because all of the dough and the flour has been incorporated. So next, you're gonna turn this out onto a wooden or your countertop, any surface, and you're gonna knead it and form it into a ball. You're not gonna need any flour because the dough is not sticky. So next, you're gonna get the same bowl from your stand mixer and you're just gonna grease that and your dough, and you're gonna cover and let rest for an hour and a half. Next, we're gonna season our chicken. So I have some chicken thighs here that I cubed, I cut up. There's no bone, there's no skin, there's just a little bit of fat. Now, if you're doing this in the oven, I would recommend trimming off most of that fat. But if you're doing it on the charcoal grill, then the fat will be a nice addition because when it melts, it adds more flavor. But it's all up to you. So first, we are gonna add some melted butter. Now, you can use ghee, Ghee, however you pronounce that, or melted butter. Now, if you're going to use butter, use some good quality butter. Then we're going to add more of our garlic paste. This is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And then the juice from one very large lime or lemon. I could not find any lemon, so we're using lime. Then next, or Tandoori Spice, which just check the description and then it will tell you all of the stuff that you need. If you don't want to make it from scratch, go and buy a sachet in the supermarket. Then you're gonna add some Greek yogurt and you're gonna slip on some gloves now, because to mix this with some tongs is just unnecessary. That's more dishes. And you're gonna mix by hand. If you want to use your hand without the gloves, be my guest. Cooking is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to have a loop to clean up after. You just do what you feel is right. So mix this up until everything is well combined. And then next, you're gonna want to get some food coloring. Now this part is totally optional. I just wanted, for my food styling, because I'm a food stylist, for my picture to look good. So I wanted it to look authentic, and for it to be authentic, they use a little bit of food coloring. So red food coloring to be exact, maybe like 2 to 3 drops for the 2.5 pounds of chicken that I have. And then that's it. And as I said, this part is completely optional. If you don't like food coloring, you don't have to add it. So once that's finished, you're going to marinate in the fridge from 1 hour to overnight. The longer, the better. So then you're going to get some wooden skewers that were soaked in warm water so that they don't burn. And you're going to just add on your chicken thighs. Do however much or however little you want. It's all up to you. For me, this recipe made about 8 skewers, 7 or 8 skewers. And then we're going to marinate after you've put them on the skewers to make your life easier. You can always do it before. If you don't have skewers, just pack it into a little baking tin and bake at 350 until the chicken is cooked through. So now that our charcoal is lit, we're gonna add our skewers, and it's gonna take about 25 minutes on each side, 25 to 30 minutes depending on how hot your coal is. If you just want the smoky flavor and don't have a coal, as I said, liquid smoke. Now back to our dough. It's nice, it's risen, it's soft, and it looks so pretty. Can't you tell? I'm always excited to work with dough. Look at my fingerprints. Now we're going to take a dough cutter and we're going to section off, or portion off rather, our dough to make our naan. Now this should make about 12 to 13 pieces. You can always double the recipe if you want more. I usually do, and I just freeze them and rewarm them after, because I love naan and I love anything with garlic. Now try and make them as even as possible. It does not have to be perfect. As I say all the time, cooking is fun. So next, we're gonna fold the dough onto itself and form a somewhat neat kind of ball. And then we're gonna get our rolling pin and we are gonna roll this out. And after each roll, you're gonna rotate it to try and keep it as circular as possible. It does not have to be perfect. As I'm gonna always say, it's supposed to be fun. Now, once you've done this, I recommend rolling out each one and then putting it into the cast iron pan. You can roll them out all at once, it's up to you. And I would recommend a cast iron or non-stick pan. Cast iron gives it that nice dark crispy exterior, but as I said, it's all up to you. So you're going to take our butter mixture, which I'm going to put the ingredients for in the bottom, just melted butter, parsley, and garlic. You're going to brush the bottom of your cast iron skillet with it, and then you're going to slap on your little piece of dough. So once you see these nice little air pockets forming, that means that the dough is cooking. Now you're going to brush more garlic butter on the side that's facing you, and then you want to flip it over. Now the first one is going to kind of look like a pancake because the grill or the pan or whatever you're using is still getting hot. So the more you do, the crispier the outside is going to be. But the part that has the bubbles is the part that you want to face upward, because you see when those get darker it would look so pretty. So now let me show you how foolproof and wonderful this recipe is. It's soft. It's not like when you make bread and the bread tastes like God knows what because it's tough. This is soft. It can suck up all of the gravy. Now back to our chicken thighs. We're gonna flip these over after about 25 to 30 minutes, and we want those nice crispy edges. Oh yes, look at that, so yummy. Now because chicken thighs with no bone and skin are cut a certain way, some of it may kind of fall off, so when you're placing it on the skewer, just keep that in mind. Now for our sauce, this part is also optional. You don't have to make the sauce. You're going to take some Greek yogurt and the cilantro and mint spread or sauce that I showed you guys earlier. Now I did this to taste. I did half a cup of Greek yogurt and 2 tablespoons of the sauce. You can do more Greek yogurt and less sauce, more sauce, less Greek yogurt. It's all up to you. And that's it, guys. Look at our beautiful tandoori chicken skewers that you're gonna make. You're not gonna tell nobody nothing. You're just gonna say, hey, eat this, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, did you get this from a restaurant? And that's it, guys. Okay, so I'm finishing up my video. Oh, flies outside. So I'm just gonna taste it and tell you guys what I think about what I made. And then that will be it. So it's a little bit rainy today. You may hear some water droplets, but that's okay. So we're gonna taste a little piece. And we're gonna dip it into our sauce. Let me bring it closer so you guys can see. Now, I'm not saying this because I was the one that made it, but it tastes like saffron. For those of you who know where saffron in Marketplace is, their tandoori chicken is the bomb. And this cilantro, this coriander and mint sauce just makes it taste so authentic. So you guys should really try out the recipe. It does taste good. If you want to do it without the charcoal stove, you can just do it in the oven. And if you want that smoky flavor, you can add probably like a teaspoon of liquid smoke, and then that's it. So that's it, guys. And our naan is so soft, so soft and buttery and garlicky. It tastes very, very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed the very short and spicy video, and let me know if you guys make it or have any questions.